Hello YouTubers, welcome to vlog number 106. Today, looks like the sun might come out to play, and we've got a half hour on the bike. So that's the longest time I've spent at high intensity since surgery. So this should be interesting. I've been doing sort of 2 15 minutes, 3 10 minutes, stuff like that on the bike to prepare me for it. But I'm not really sure how it will go, because 15 minutes is definitely not the same as half an hour. It's approximately half, so that should be interesting. Got my smoothie with me, obviously. Same smoothie, strawberry, banana, yogurt, milk, protein powder. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a great day. Yeah, buddy. Let's get to the club, get changed, and we're on the water today. And we're back at the club. Yeah, buddy. Gonna get on the water this morning, and this time I think it might be a different boat, because the guys are starting to come back from America or other places to row in a Henley boat for Leander Club. There's actually 2 guys coming, or arrived yesterday, that are from Northeastern University, my old university, and so I might be rowing with them this morning, and the other guys for the boat for Henley that I'll be rowing in. We're yet to see whether it's an 8 or a 4 or a octuple. We'll soon find out, but time to go get changed, work out what we're doing next. Yeah, buddy. And welcome back to On the Water Rowing Thoughts with Cam Buchan, as we speed up, put the boat on the water, and get ready to go out for an awesome session. This is our first morning session as we get going, and as you can tell from the title, today we're talking about warm-ups and warm-downs. So, I'm going to discuss how I warm up for pieces. That's off the water. So say, let's go for the 2K. How I warm up for the 2K, and how I warm up on the water for, say, a session like this, just now steady state session, UT2 session. How I warm up for a higher intensity rowing session, and then how I warm up for a UT2 steady state on the rowing machine. So I've got 4 different types. So basically high intensity on the rowing machine, on the water, and then low intensity on the rowing machine and on the water. Okay, so let's work up the intensities. And since we've got on the screen, we'll start with lower intensity on the water. So I find on the water to be a bit less stressful on the body, especially when warming up. So I usually skip it in these videos, but what we do is we row in pairs, and then we build up sort of the strokes. So rowing in pairs just gets the body moving, gets the warm up going, and then we go into rowing in the 4s anyway. And usually what happens is you'll do something like that on the water anyway before pieces. So really the warm up for me is there's less off the water, like a pre-boating warm up, as we switch over to sunnier, less layers rowing. There's less off the water warm up for rowing, maybe just a bit of rolling, a bit of stretching, and then we do most of the warm up on the water. And that's especially true for higher intensity pieces on the water. So what I find, if I'm trying to warm up for higher intensity pieces in the water, if I do something on the erg before, and then we boat, and then we do the warm up on the water, I sort of lose what I've gained on that warm up. So I like to go sort of do all the warm up stuff on the water. So I'll do some rolling, I'll do some stretching. I really like to get my back nice and loose anyway, no matter what the workout I do. And most of that is from sort of rolling, the foam roller stuff, or a hockey ball kind of thing. But I'll do that, and then on the water, depending on, so if we'll go for higher intensity pieces now on the water. So we're talking doing bursts. We're talking, if it's a longer piece, we're doing longer bursts. We're thinking about doing, if it's a higher rate piece, getting used to that rate in the warm up. All different things like that. And then we come off the water. How do I warm up for, say, we'll do 16k on the erg. So the way I warm up for that, very simple, and very similar to how I'd warm up on the lower intensity on water sort of training. I really just make sure my back's nice and loose, do a bit more rolling, a bit more stretching. But it is really, for me, it's very personal. So so my legs don't really get too tight, but someone else's might get really tight, so you might want to focus on that. But for me, it's just making sure my back, hips, so glutes are all set. So I'll do some rolling, and then really, if there's a steady state in the morning, most of my rolling happens in the morning. I'll arrive a little early to the gym, go on a roller, and this is where I sort of check my phone for the day, all the notifications overnight. I'll check my phone, roll my glutes, roll my back, roll my hips a little bit, roll my hamstrings and roll my quads. And then if there's anything else I need to tend to, I'll tend to that. But usually that is going to be I'll do that before a lower intensity erg session. And then I'll use, since you're sort of, when you start a lower intensity erg session anyway, you don't really, it's like you're going at lower intensity. So what I find is it builds up as I sort of progress into the piece or into the session anyway. So I'll use the first 20 minutes if it's an hour, not necessarily to warm up, but just making sure everything's good as my body does warm up. But obviously that's personal, and if you feel you need more, definitely fire away and have some more warm up. Okay, and lastly, warming up for a 2K or just sort of any high intensity pieces on the erg. So what I find is, if you're not warm enough on the erg, or you're not prepared for an erg piece, you really end up going, like, I'm not sure, you might have probably felt it where your throat and lungs just burn. And so generally I find that happens when I've not warmed up enough. So when I've experienced a burning feeling, I've said, okay, I'm going to need more warm up. And for me, let's just take what I do before a 2K. So what I like to do is get sweaty first. And this really can depend on my mood. So that I'll usually tend to start on the bike. Just move my legs around, just get them rotating, getting the blood moving. And then eventually, I'll keep adding power, and I'll sort of keep moving, and then I'll start to sweat, I'll start to get warm. Usually before 2K I'm wearing leggings, I'm wearing a long sleeve to help just keep my body warm. And so I'll move around, I'll get sweaty, and then once I am sweaty, once I'm happy enough with how hot I am, how sweaty I am, usually it's 15-20 minutes on the bike, starting off sort of 5 minutes, very easy, and then escalating upwards, but still staying at UT2. Then I'll go on to the rowing machine. What I like to do is make sure I've got loads of time. I'll do 2K on the erg, pretty much just rolling up and down the slide. And I mean pretty much just rolling up and down the slide. I've got a handle in my hands, but I'm doing slower splits. So say my UT2 right now is around 150, so I'll be looking at rolling up and down the slide at 230, high 2 minutes. And as we progress through that 2K, I'll start coming down slowly. And I'm still getting warm, I'm still sweaty, and it's just coming down slowly. So there's about 2K of that, and then I do 2K of UT2. And then I'll start doing some bursts. So what I like to do is, especially before a 2K, just demonstrate to myself, yeah Cam, you've got some watts, so I like to do max watts burst. So like trying to lift the erg off the ground, trying to get a low split. Not the lowest split I can do, but maybe like below 110, so I can just sort of, yeah, I've still got it, still there. Also, I really like doing a sort of quite a bit longer burst before 2K, so I'll try and avoid that burning lung, burning throat feeling that you can sometimes get when your body just doesn't seem ready. But that's how I sort of go about all my warm-ups. Most of the time, it all starts with a bit of stretching and a bit of rolling. Rolling is a big part of my warm-ups. But like I said, it can vary greatly depending on who you are. I know some of the guys don't roll so much, but they'll do a lot of stretching. I do a bit less stretching, just because I feel like the rolling is better for me. But you do what you feel like is good for you, and then sort of tailor your own warm-up so you understand what your body needs. Everybody's body is different, and everyone's body requires a different warm-up. But warm-ups are hugely important, especially when you're heading into higher intensity. And this brings me into my last point of warm downs. So I've described quite a bit about the warm-up, And warm downs really, it's just an idea, not an idea, it's a plan to get your heart rate down to a sort of close to a resting level, and not like your resting heart rate level, but a level where, say you're sitting having lunch at that kind of level. So say your resting heart rate is 40, and you're probably going to sit around 60, maybe even 70 if you're sitting having lunch. So you want to just make sure once you're finished a piece on the erg, or you're finished a piece on the water, that you do a little bit of work just to relax the body down, because you're doing damage to you're causing stress to your body no matter what exercise you're doing. So for it to just stop immediately can be bad for the body. So by making it sort of relax down and just gradually come down, it can actually be a bit better for recovery, which is a great thing to do, and it has really helped along with warm downs, sorry. So it really also affects, so warm downs really also help with sort of next day feelings of fatigue, again, recovery, especially when you're doing high intensity stuff. So say if you're doing races, if you've got a race on the Friday and a race on the Saturday, so you don't go and finish the race on Friday and then just go to the hotel. You finish the race on Friday and then you go on the erg and do some low intensity flush out rowing, or you go on a bike, or whatever choice it is, but you don't just stop, because what happens is the lactic acid sort of just stays there for a bit longer and can cause just a bit more discomfort. But the more you move, the more likely it is to sort of flush out your system a bit quicker. So that's really the benefit of warm downs, or the two benefits. One is moving, especially when you're doing high intensity, moving that lactic acid away a bit quicker, and two, if you're doing lower intensity as well as higher intensity, you want to just get that heart rate sort of lower to let your body know, okay, it is time to relax now. Rather than it's still in that fight or flight response, you've now told it, okay, I'm no longer trying to yam on it on the erg or the water. It's now time to chill out and we'll go have lunch or whatever. But that is it for erg thoughts for today. Hope you enjoyed it. And this erg thought was inspired by a few comments about the topic. So any other topics you think would be great to discuss, I do read the comments and I do reply to pretty much all of them. Alright, so see you when I'm finished this rowing session.
And a fantastic session out on the water with the boys. Now it's breakfast time, because remember, food is fuel. Eggs, beans, brown sauce, and some bread that is toasted. But I've avoided the sausage because it's cutting time. Gonna eat this, fuel up, see what's on for next session. Alright, we've finished breakfast. Now it's time for another row instead of a half hour in a bag. Let's get to it. And we've made it back into the crew room after an awesome session in the water. Sunny day, excellent, getting a tan, gains, train. Now it's time to eat some food. Oh yeah. How's the food?
It's not great.
It's delicious. Even better than great. Alright, eat this, see what we're doing for the rest of the day. Let's get going. And that is lunch finished. A fantastic day had, and look at the weather, it's so sunny, the skies are blue. Excellent. And the boats are out for a corporate day. Got a tour to do. And I think that'll be it for the rest of the vlog for today. Look at that, the tents and everything are getting put up at Henley. All the other miscellaneous things. Sweet, almost time for Henley. Blades out for the corporate day as well. Excellent time, so I'll get to do this tour. End of the vlog for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully you enjoyed the chat. We've sped up one of the sessions since there's 2 sessions anyway. Remember, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like button. Have a good one.